At the moment, we're facing a very serious challenge from technological innovation, from artificial intelligence. When robots and artificial intelligence-empowered machines, more generally, pass the so-called Turing test, we reach a stage where you pick up the phone, you call your bank, you call a restaurant, order takeaway, and you cannot distinguish from the voice that you hear on the phone whether this is a machine speaking to you or a human being, because they sound similar and they do the same job, talking to you. Then suddenly you can imagine the impact this is going to have on employment throughout capitalism. In the 1970s and 80s, we had a shift of employment from industry to the service sector, to banks, to supermarkets, to restaurants. Yeah. The moment machines overcome the Turing test, pass it, you're going to have, for the first time in the history of capitalism, technology destroying a lot more jobs than it is creating. So you're going to have a massive reduction in aggregate demand. This is going to create more deflationary forces. Income will become even more concentrated in the hands of those who own the machines. But even they will suffer in the long term because the demand will not be there for the product of their machines. So this is something we really need to think very carefully about. It is clear that the returns, the money earned by the machines, must be spread out. The solution, so we need a universal basic income, but not one funded by taxation. We need effectively to take the returns to capital, the returns to automation, and spread them throughout society. Take your smartphone. Most of the technologies in there were provided by public funding. Every time you search on a search engine, you contribute to the capital of that company. The capital base on which these new products are being created, and the robots, is socially produced. The capitalists who own those companies do not have the right to hold the returns to capital because they did not produce that capital. It was produced by the public. It's crowdsourced. What we're saying is the property rights to the returns of capital, or the property rights over a segment of the returns to capital, must be flowing into a social fund from which everybody gets paid a dividend, as if we are shareholders, because we are shareholders in artificial intelligence. We should be shareholders.